Okay, so I don't even know where I'm gonna put this in at, but this is the trunk for the Dodge, and there are some features around the perimeter, basically a bunch of rust pits. I had the same thing on the Paul Hunter Camaro, and what I decided to do is go through and delete all those features or the rust pits. And so it's already been cleaned, the metal's been cleaned, it's been fixed and filled and all that kind of stuff. And we're gonna take body filler, skim coat the entire perimeter of the trunk, and then we'll sand it down and give it a nice smooth transition. No one will probably ever see this. However, if they do, it'll be smooth. So that, and then the owner, David, went through and rebraced the trunk because there was some splitting that happened here, and he went through and sanded and blocked it down, and I'm just taking care of a few small features. I'm not sure if this trunk is going to be all paint or paint and carpet or whatever it is, so we're going to get it as smooth as we can so when you open up the trunk it looks presentable. My only concern with this trunk is that it had that sound deadening stuff in here. You can kind of see some features left from it, and there's a little bit of something there, and I hear some rattling in this trunk, and I've already blown it out, and I'm sure the owner has blown it out probably 100 times, yet there's still stuff rattling in here, which makes me a little bit nervous because the only time that stuff comes out is when you put the clear coat on. So hopefully it won't. Hopefully we can blow it all out. Hopefully it won't be an issue. But if it comes out in the clear. Never the base or the primer, always the clear. Don't know why. It's just how it works. Anyway, just a little once over on what's going on in the trunk. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my skim coat around the outer edge, around the perimeter, and then we'll come back in here with a block by hand and just sand this down to get it smooth. And then some of these features where there's some small dents and stuff inside the trunk, just so that your eye's not drawn to that when the trunk pops open. Instead, it'll be drawn to the really nice features like the, what is that, aircraft holes or aviator fighter jet whole thing they got going on there. So that's a really cool feature of the trunk, and we want the eyes to focus on that and not on any imperfections. Man, oh man, hours and hours and hours. So we touched these fenders near the beginning of the video series on this Dodge, and put the air file on them and end up re-skimming this one. There was a section at the bottom that had a little bit of a rolled edge. Basically, the fender was rolling down and kind of rolled down a little too far. So I just went ahead and pulled that up. And of course, I spread the filler out wider. So when I come and take it again, take it down again, we'll be where we need to be at. If I sound funny, it's because I've been in a mask all day. This side is actually good. I was able to take it down with the air file, and it is as flat as can be after putting guide coat on it. Actually, it's got a pretty good roll right there. Huh. I'm going to take some of that out. Well, crap. I thought it was flat. I'm going to have to work that a little bit more. I'll check it after I get on the car, and then I may pull it back off. We'll see where that one's at. I got my rocker panels pretty good. I gotta fix the bottom of this door a little bit. I did another skim coat because there was something up at the bottom of the door. I don't even remember now. The trunk has been a serious workout. It took me a while to get it aligned-ish, enough where I could fill and make it even, and I'm down to bare metal here, so that's as far as the trunk goes in, and then I ended up doing a skim coat back here to bring that out. But my lines are pretty good. Pretty good. You can see it's pretty even all the way around through there. And I got to go recut this line in because this area I don't believe it been worked. So I worked this whole top to make sure this is smooth, because the top of the car is going to go around the back of here and fold down in here. So this portion of the paint is exposed, as well, of course, as the trunk. So we reworked that one, and I'm reworking the back of this edge, and I had to bring the roll pan, or this bottom lip of the trunk, out a little bit to match the trunk. I had a little spot here that was a wrinkle or something, and more here around this side, and I got to go back and cut this in. I added a skim coat of mud here because this little edge right here was down, so hopefully we're in good shape this time. Let's see, I also redid something over here. I gotta finish sanding this down. Oh yes, I was cleaning all this up through here, And I think I found some brass right there and right there, which is interesting. I guess maybe it was a brazing repair from what the owner said. Wasn't sure. So I'll have to cover. It's actually got a hump right here, which is odd because everything else is smooth except for that one little weird spot. I got to do some more sanding here, and probably, I think this is a weld from something that's out a little too far. I shouldn't use my nasty hands, huh? I should probably get me a pointer. Need me one of those pointer things. Anyway, probably should use something else, or take the grinder to this and grind this down. Then I got to move this body line back. So when I shut the door, it looks good all the way here, and then up here at the top, I've got to take it back some more. You can see it's a little bit too close there. So getting there with the grinder, grind that weld back, and then we'll get that door back where it needs to be at. Got to do a little bit down there and also across there, but I did pull the rocker out, so now it's nice and even all the way down through here. Got rid of the little Humpty Hump that was in there. I decided to add, I know, a 1/16 of an inch back here. It was like, I don't know, 7 millimeters on this side. It was 5 on the other side. Everything else was 5. So yeah, I know we're just gonna keep everything as even as we can get it. So I'll clean that up again. I think that's it. This trunk has taken me. Yes, I have a center block sitting on the trunk. That's because the springs are so strong that the trunk just starts to lift up by itself a little bit. So that's why the center block's sitting up there on a couple rags, so the trunk doesn't open while I'm sanding on it. But this trunk is much better. It's where it needs to be at. The back of the car is just about where it needs to be at. I'm gonna go through and do a little bit more block sanding to get these areas down, clean my edges up, clean up the door, the bottom of that, clean up this fender. I may have to rework this one. Unfortunately, there's a hump right in here, which I know there's kind of supposed to be a hump in there somewhere, but if I can't take this hump down, then I'll have to make it make sense, make it smooth. A little sanding on the rockers. I think I said that probably before. A little bit on the trunk, not a whole lot. Most of my rough shaping is there. It's just a little bit of fine tuning, which could be time consuming. Oh yeah, and then I got to cut the bottom of the doors in. So that will be time consuming because cutting the doors in by hand means that I'll be using a block like this or like this, or let me get up here, jostling through all the body stands like this, and that door jamb back and forth to cut that door down. So right now you guys can see, sorry, tripod in the way. My God, let's see. Let me check this door if it's closed. Be a little bit easier. Yeah, so you can see it's like snug, 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 snug all the way down through here. So that door gap that's all snug is going to be cut out by hand. When I say cut out, take a sanding block, sand it down, sand it down, sand it down until I get my 5 millimeters or 3/16. I'll put the equivalent on the screen here for you. For you people that are very specific and want the actual freedom units to metric units. Even though it's sitting like 4 inches off the ground, nobody's probably going to see the thing, but it's straight. I got a laser there that says it's straight. And I'm tired. It's been a lot of sanding and a lot of filling and back and forth and hitting things and making sure I don't miss anything. So I believe we are pretty close now. So maybe 2 more days of sanding. Who would have thought that 2 days of sanding was close? Probably 2 days of block sanding as far as shaping. Just take care of like door rocker thing like I was talking about. And then we can put this whole thing in some 2790G primer. And y'all know when that 2790G hits, we hit it with 400 or 320, which is why I'm spending so much time on the rough shaping now. So I spend less time once I get it in primer. So we'll get it in primer, Probably hit it with 220, then 400, 600, sealer, color, out the door. Man, I am worn out. It has been another long day, but we're almost home. I don't even know where this is going to be at in the video series. We'll just go ahead and wrap it up here. My name's Erwin. This Wheels in a Block, where I've been working on this Dodge for way too long, but not near as long as the owner. I think he's been working on this thing like 30 years. And that's insane. I put a picture of what this thing looked like 30 years ago. This car was a rusted hull. And this man has come so far. And we got to take it the rest of the way. So, with that said, as I get up here so you can see this beautiful hemispheric V8 with these two Holley EFI units on it and this supercharger. My name's Erwin. This is Wheels in a Block. We're giving back what time is taken away. We'll see you soon.